On last night's episode of Dynamite, we started off with Rey Fenix making his first defense of the AEW International Championship against none other than Jeff Jarrett. Like every Jeff Jarrett matchup, there was so much interference. This one built on the beef between Aubrey and Karen Jarrett, as she actually knocked her over during the match, which Phoenix was able later on to counter up a figure four with a roll-up for the win for her first successful title defense.
He got some of that good Bugs Bunny offense going on that lethal team today.
He's bouncing all over the place.
Yeah. It's like, you can't catch me. You can't catch me. Get a kick in here. Super kick there. Super kick here.
It made a usually very slow and plodding Jeff Jarrett match a lot more enjoyable. But of course, lots of interference.
Obviously. That's the only reason why it went so much faster. Otherwise, it would be slow and methodical, no matter how fast Ray moves, because Jeff Jarrett ain't moving fast.
We'll say the stroke actually looks like a decent move when Rey Fenix is trying to end his own career on it.
Yeah, every time I see him do that spike thing, I'm like, right, sir, you should stop. Like, I don't know. I've never done that to myself before, but it seems like it's going to not feel good. So stop spiking yourself.
Next up on the show, we had our first video with Adam Cole and MJF. They're on a boat.
They on a boat?
This was actually so much fun because MJF is getting mad. Adam Cole takes off, goes to grab the ring, and Adam Cole senses in and goes, Adam, you didn't bring me out on this boat to betray me with a ring and leave my body in the water, did you?
It's like, no. We're buds.
Adam teaches him a life lesson saying, we could be friends, but a person can have more than one friend. I know you're new to this, but you can have more than one friend. And MJF learns, and he continues his growth.
MJF never went and got Cole that beer that he told him he was going to get him.
Well, he went to the cooler. That's where the...
Yeah, he went to the cooler and got the ring and never got the beer. What kind of friend are you?
It's all right, man. He had to come back to help him because on the reel, Adam Cole was the biggest of fishes you can ever catch.
He caught Captain Encino.
Out there in a flotation device, Captain Encino outfit, but he ends up just joining them. Wait, no, he ends up joining them on the boat and they all have a drink.
What kind of fishing line was that holds on to that gigantic man?
Hey, man, it's not like they showed him actually reeled in and flopping across the deck. We ended up having a little video with Don Callis showing that he and Takeshita were in Japan, and they were just talking about how they were going to attack Kota. But we went to commercial, and when we came back, they're on the ring, and they end up showing the footage of them attacking Kota.
Yeah, I mean, they found their target. I want to know if the guy that they attacked was it somebody that we should know, or if it was just a guy.
I don't know. I did see someone say, I've been to Kota's dojo before, and definitely was it. So it might just be somebody that's always there working with him.
Right.
Maybe won't actually ever matter. But a lot of this is just eventually to bring out Sammy separately, which I will say, during Sammy's time on the mic, it actually was the first indication that we had all night that this crowd was actually going to be great. Because they were chanting F you, Sammy, loud.
Yeah, this crowd was really good. This was a hot crowd. Like, they were loud for Don. I mean, every crowd's pretty loud for Don, but it was, you could tell.
If they can keep up that kind of heat on Sammy, then he can join Don and Christian Cage as like pure heat magnets, because as you and I talk about plenty, you can't boo Takeshita like that.
He's just booed by association right now, but I would still cheer for
him. After this was a part that I completely forgot about and pushed it out of my memory. Ricky
Yeah.
Starks, Big Bill was with them backstage, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Bill was there with him. Ricky was talking about how Brian Danielson still has never pinned him or submitted him. He's, because they've faced each other 2 times and Brian Danielson still hasn't beat him, is what he's saying, even though he's lost twice now.
Yeah.
But he's never lost because he hasn't been pinned or submitted.
It's kind of why I kind of pushed out my brain. I was like, it's whatever.
All right, Ricky. And then Yuta comes in and he's like, well, I didn't know that you were going to shake hands with Danielson after. And I, didn't mean to do what I did, basically. And Ricky, being the Ricky that he is, he's like, nah, fuck that. I don't accept none of your apologies. And then Yuta just starts going off on a tangent about how he was disrespectful and now he wants to face him at Wrestle Dream. And
Yay.
later made official. Ricky versus Yuta, Wrestle Dream. Should be a great match. I'm kind of happy that Yuta didn't get much more promo.
Quickly after this, we get a righteous video. The biggest thing from this is continued possible foreshadowing, where one of the lines is, "It's easier to forgive like fake friend, or sorry, easier to forgive enemies than it is fake friends." And this, of course, is ahead of their match with Adam Cole and MJF, or is that the?
Maybe Cole and MJF came on out after that. Adam Cole is obviously in like a fake cast, like thing. I don't know what that was, but they came down and Adam Cole says they need to relinquish the belts because he's hurt and he can't wrestle. So they're gonna have to just let him go to the righteous. MJF was like, hell no. Hell no. I did not wrestle 2 times in one night just to relinquish these belts.
I did not wrestle my sexy kosher ass, or no, fine kosher ass. That's what it was.
Yeah, his fine kosher ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he says he's gonna defend them belts in a handicap match because he don't give a fuck.
Then we start to hear your favorite theme music in all of AEW.
The best themes.
Roderick Strong.
Adam!
Yo.
Adam! Adam!
And in a show of growth from MJF, as Roddy tells him that he needs him right now, it's so important. MJF says, "You know what? I respect you, and if that's your boy, I gotta respect that." And he tells him to go, like, go off with Roddy. It's the continued growth,
Mhm.
whichever way this turns, which we may see sooner rather than later. Who knows? Whichever way this turns, if MJF's the one that turns, it's going to be crazy after the amount of growth that he's done in one direction to being a better friend and a better human. He's got to stick as a babyface. If not, it is either way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The babyface thing needs to continue, but he can go either way if he wants to. It's just people are gonna cheer him if he decides to be a heel.
On Adam Cole's and the Kingdom's on their way out. Jay White comes out though, and man, this had me a little bit nervous because Jay White comes out, he starts it, MJF goes off on him. I loved every minute of it, everything that MJF was able to get the crowd chanting towards Jay White. Every minute of it was golden. I was worried at that moment.
Yeah, he was ripping him because I didn't even remember what Jay White said the first time around at all. Because basically it was just, here's your opportunity to face the Switchblade, and then MJF was like, whatever, Mister Pube Goatee.
So I will
Like,
say,
I'm filet mignon. I'm the star of the meal. You're just tofu.
like, basically the whole system was behind Jay White. He got handed the keys to the hottest faction, blah, blah, blah. MJF doesn't need any of that. Destroyed him. I was worried. And then hearing it back a second time and watching it, I'm like, the way that Jay White started off the second part of it was beautiful, and he brought himself back into it where, man, it shows like they may have so played Jay White so far in his time in AEW, but tonight really helped show like, no, no, you can put the title on him whenever you want.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. As what he did, because MJF, he uses analogies. He's gonna make you laugh a little bit. Jay is like, all right, I'm not gonna try to beat you at your game. I just do what I do, and was that he is like the most cocky wrestler on the microphone. Like he did everything. Like he's more cocky than Jericho, I feel like.
Speaking of cocky sons of the bitches, after that we had the Christian Cage and the Darby Allin sit down. Um, where one of the first things they do is address that he is now officially the TNT champion. He's like, I don't know what you've been talking about. I've been champ for months. The paper
Yeah, I retained my title on Collision.
at the pay per view, it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. Um, Christian Cage did his normal things to get some heat, bringing up Darby's uncle and the tragic story of Darby Allin that we've heard so many times before. After that,
Yeah.
four-way match: Matt Jackson, Orange Cassidy, Austin Gunn versus Penta. The matches on tonight's show, great, even
Yeah.
though none of them were like that really built up to match, right?
Hmm. Yeah, every match, like none of them were built up. Oh, like I guess this one kinda almost had a little bit of a build to it, and then yeah, Willow and Julia did a little bit, but nothing huge. But this match, it was just spots, and I love spots, so I was down.
This was if you like to sit back and just enjoy fun wrestling, you're gonna love it type of match. Which Orange
Yeah,
Cassidy was able to win with an orange punch on Matt Jackson. Main event.
the main event, y'all. The main event.
Willow
Willow
Nightingale.
versus Julia. It's
Man,
uh it's unfortunate that we already knew the outcome of this based on what's happening at Wrestle Dream, but I think this was really good. This is the best that Julia's looked to me.
I feel like
Like
even Willow got to Julia looked great. Willow got to have her shine. Her barking at Brody, I thought was amazing. The
I
cr-
love that moment, and even though she didn't get to hit the I don't know. I'm gonna call it the dog splash. Yeah,
the fans were into it both sides, and you talk about Julia looking good. Forget Christopher Daniels and his BME. Julia Hart might have just did the best moonsault ever.
that was a great moonsault, dog. It's a good thing she's tiny because it looked like it would have actually hurt. But yeah, yeah, Julia looked incredible. Willow was looking good. She noticeably she was not the normal smiley Willow. She tried like it was I pay way too much attention to her and I noticed that she had to try not to smile sometimes because I think she's just so genuinely happy to be out there. But like when she was barking at Brody, she was trying her hardest not to smile through it.
So the main event segment of the show, but not the final segment of the show,
Mm.
was Swerve and Hangman's contract signing, in which this was another example of, man, I thought somebody was about to be chewed alive because Swerve killed Hangman. Hangman gave a beautiful promo back, but it wasn't about Swerve at all. Swerve went after Hangman. Hangman just did a pure babyface promo.
Yeah. He was like, I just have to succeed because I want to be great. And then Swerve was like cutting into him. Like the what's a farmer to a mogul, what's a buckshot to a kill shot. He was cooking him.
Yeah.
Like, he stumbled a little bit in there, but he was cooking him.
He stumbled in the way that he was fired up. It's like he was talking too fast, that he was kind of tripping over his own words. It wasn't that he like did terrible flubs. It was just fired up flubs, and I'm good with that because it's authentic, it's real.
Yeah.
And when things are getting combustible at the end, it wasn't really going anywhere. But we cut backstage to see a group of people in all black attacking somebody. One person
Yeah.
standing off to the side wearing the MJF devil mask, and the person being attacked was Jay White.